Hi, this time we are in San Mateo in the Beckon office with Jochen. Jochen, who are you and what do you do?
Hey, my name is Jochen Frey. I'm the co-founder and CTO of Beckon, and what we do is that we unite all data for marketers in one place so they can finally figure out what works and what doesn't work, mostly by themselves.
Great. Tell us about your background, Jochen.
I'm from Germany, obviously. I studied software engineering and medicine, and then after having started my first company during university even, I decided that I wanted to come to the United States and work here in Germany. I was looking for adventure, essentially what it boiled down to, and I certainly found plenty of that.
Okay, great. Let's talk about the business model of Beckon. Can you tell us briefly how it works?
Well, Beckon is a software as a service, so we deliver the software by way mostly of a web interface and integrations to our customers. Our customers are marketers, cross-channel marketers, very CMOs, very senior marketers, and what we deliver for them is an integrated, normalized, standardized view of all of their data, which they can then use to make better decisions on a day-to-day basis as opposed to after the fact, as well as use it for their modeling of what might change if they spend money differently, for example.
You are using a very interesting mode of how you aggregate those data. Can you explain this how it works?
Sure. Obviously, everybody asks us, are using those APIs? Which 5 APIs do you use? And we're like, it's really not the way to go. You have to, in order to make marketers happy, you have to really, and be successful there, you have to load data from all sources out there, whether they're online, offline, digital, non-digital, whatever it is, you have to be able to get that. And in the shortest version of it is we're also call ourselves sometimes the Tripit for marketers, which is that you can get data via email into Beckon, which enables so many systems that you otherwise couldn't get the data from on an automated basis. That said, we're using whatever it takes, whether it's email or APIs or an SFTP server or whatever it takes. It really is where it's at, but it's mostly email.
With what type of metrics are you helping CMOs to perform better in their marketing?
Like leaders of every other business function, CMOs in the end should be accountable and would like to be accountable for return on investment. And a lot of them are really desperate to have good reports to show to their board or to their CFO, because every other business function has those. Now, it is really hard to measure that in a meaningful way and get all that data together in a meaningful way. So, and in order to get there and in order to manage well, you really want to take it one level down from there. And things that matter to marketers are the impressions that you have, how many people in a B2C world, how many people did I engage with, are aware of me, the engagement, how many people are engaging with my brand, replying to Twitter, forwarding things to their friends, those types of things, and then the revenue obviously, and then typically retaining people is in the mix. So the metrics that you use to do this, and the interesting pieces are marketing spend, how much do they spend and on what, obviously. And then the marketing activity metrics. I send them any emails, I put them in billboards, I put them in seconds in television for this television spot. The outcomes, that many people watched the television spot, that many people retweeted my tweet, those types of things. And lastly, the business outcomes, when available, and often they're not, but when available, this is what people bought. So those are the high level metrics. There's a set of metrics coming up that has been next to impossible to measure, but now with Beckon you can, which is things like earned, owned, paid. So typically you pay for you pay for a television commercial. That is paid, but when the television commercial gets aired, you can as well put on your website supporting information or something like that. That's owned. I own my website, I can put it there, people will see it if they come. And then there is earned, which is the people, consumers, whoever saw it, liked it, and then retweeted it or liked it on Facebook or talked to their friends about it when you can measure this, those type of things. Obviously, you want campaigns, or you want to do more things where you get the free kind of marketing, the earned kind, and being able to measure that, for example, is incredibly, and resonates with incredibly well with marketers who need to be more efficient doing what they're doing.
In terms of corporate strategy, there are so many predictive analytics startups out there here in the Valley. And what makes you different, and why is it that you are trying to solve one of the problems?
Well, first of all, we're not a predictive analytics startup. We are all about bringing data together so it becomes actionable for marketers. Many people are trying to go out there and say, make things, tell me what to do, predictive analytics, or tell me what is going to happen. Well, that's nice when you can do it. But until we get there, it's really nice as well to see the thing I just did it work or did it not work? Because if it worked, I'll do more of it. And if it didn't work, do less of it. So we believe that there's the way marketing works is not like one model where then you come out with a number saying I should spend 30% on television and 70% on digital, and then you manage to that number. That seems bizarre to me. It's an organization should be able to make a million little decisions every day where people make just better decisions, and you acquire capability in-house. And for that you need a place where people can look at the data and agree on the data and act on it. And that's where we think the market is right now. Predictive will happen, but first you need the data in a form and in a place where you can act on it. CFOs, financial people, would not stand for what marketers do right now. You can't have your expense report and you just put the receipts into a mailbox, and then at the end of the year you go and you want a report and you go through the mailbox and sort through the whole thing. No function would stand for it, but this is how marketing works today. You do all of those things, there's data coming out, it sits in places where it doesn't come together, and then you're trying to make sense of it. If you make sense of it when you gather it and put it in a place. So CFOs, they press a button and they know how much money they've made, right? They know how much money they need to spend on salaries. Marketing, typically not so much. And it's not because marketers are not willing or not good at doing it. It's just the data has exploded around them. It used to be 4 or 5 channels, radio, television, out of home. Now it's 25, 30 channels. You can't do that in your heads anymore.
Great. Let's talk about the market development, and especially starting with the ecosystem. Can you briefly explain how the ecosystem for a marketer works?
The ecosystem, I think in my mind there are 2 ecosystems. And right, it's how marketers execute, and right now it's either in-house or with agencies or with technology. And then there is within technology. And within technology, the landscape that is important to us is that there are, as I said, more and more channels that marketers can execute in, whether it's Twitter or Facebook or Pinterest that came up over the last year or so, or just more and more of those. And there are fantastic systems for just most any of the channels. How do you engage with Twitter? Email systems, fairly mature market, but highly sophisticated. Those are execution systems that are really, really good. Doing analytics in channel. They can tell you if the email works better when you send it at 7 o'clock in the morning or at 10 o'clock in the morning. If with this subject line or another subject line, they're really, really good at it. A/B testing, bucket testing, whatever you want. What we do is that we take the outputs from all of those systems and say, how many emails did you send? What types of people did you send it to? And what open rate, click rates did you get? So there's, for email, if you look at it, there's still only 5 or so metrics that matter. How many did you send? How many bounced? How many got opened? How many get clicked? How many get forwarded? How many unsubscribed? 6, right? And it doesn't matter which email system it is, it's always the same thing. So what we've done is we've mapped what we call the marketing genome, which is a way to tell marketers that taxonomy matters. So we map the channels, we map the metrics, and the ecosystem for us is that all the systems that marketers use to do something come up with data that they then use to look at if it was successful or how successful it was or not. And that's the data that we put together. So we are in many ways an analytical layer on, we call it on top of execution systems.
Okay. Assuming one of your German friends comes to you and says, Jochen, I want to start my own company, what would you advise him? What should he do and what shouldn't he do?
I'm laughing because there's been so much glamour around starting your own company, and everybody's supposed to do, at least around here, it's that way, that when people come out, I've talked to people and I've met a lot of people who, when they're 25, think they're late to start their own company. It's too late. You should do it right in university or whatever it is. And I'm laughing because there's such a glamour around it, and the reality is simply not as rosy. It's everybody knows it's incredibly hard work, but not sure if everybody knows that failure is more likely, almost more likely than success, even moderate success. Some of the VCs told me that a third of the companies do well, a third is break even, and a third just burns out. So don't assume it's glamorous. Don't assume you're going to make a lot of money. Chances are, if you have a good job at Google or some such place, you might make more money over 10 years of your life. Be prepared to put 5 to 10 years into it. Probably more like 10 nowadays. And be prepared to work incredibly hard. So I think there are people who are built for that, and who actually don't have much of a choice in doing something different really and be happy. Then you absolutely have to do this. But think hard about it. Don't do it for the glamour. The other thing is, find a good partner to do it with. If you can help it, don't do it by yourself. Find somebody you see eye to eye with. Find someone you see eye to eye with. It's so important. There are going to be bad days. There are going to be really, really bad days, and you want someone who you can rely on for good judgment and for strength and for just support in general. It's a total roller coaster. There are the same day you can just be so excited and then so disappointed. Highs and lows of emotions are amazing. In terms of how to actually do it, many people have said that, and I think it's true. Pick something you care about. Mm-hmm. You have to be able to care about it even when you're not making a lot of money, and maybe you never will, and you want to be able to feel like it's been worth the time, the years, the things you haven't done. You want to be able to look back and say, yeah, it was absolutely worth the shot, it was worth trying. And I think those are probably the major ones.
Okay. Jochen, thank you very much for your time. And as Jochen said, it's very important that you find the right co-founder. Maybe you look around your people, your friends, and maybe your co-students, and see who would be willing and able to start a company with you. Thank you very much.